Hi, it's Katie from Katie Cooks and Crafts, and today I'm going to do the dinner tag. This tag was created by Dreamflight 6000, and I will link her video down below. And I saw the title of this tag and I was intrigued, but when I saw the questions I was a little bit hesitant because the questions are kind of hard. There's 9 questions asking your favorite recipe for a bunch of different categories, and picking one favorite is really hard because I like a lot of things. I like to try new things, so my favorite could change at any moment. But I was tagged by Cook for My Kids, so I'm going to go ahead and do the tag. I've been thinking about it for a few days and I think I've got good answers for each question. If you want to check out Cook for My Kids channel, she does videos similar to my weekly meals videos. So if you really like those videos, check out her channel. She does not only dinner, like what they're eating for dinner, but also lunch, breakfast, and snacks for her and her kids. And she also does like lunchbox idea videos every once in a while, which is really great for back to school if you're sending your kids off to school. She does, all sorts of lunch ideas for herself, her family, and also to pack in lunch boxes. So check out her channel. I'll put all of these links in the description box. So I'm going to start the dinner tag. Question number 1 is favorite crock-pot meal. And this is probably going to be a wildly unpopular opinion, but I don't actually like using my crock pot all that much. I feel like every time I make something in the crock pot, the flavors kind of get murky and things get dried out or overcooked. I do like to use it for simmering things or keeping things warm, but to throw a bunch of raw ingredients in and let it cook for hours and hours and hours is not something that I usually do. But I do use my crock pot to make bone broth. It works perfectly for bone broth. And I have a video showing how I do this. It's one of my food prep videos, but I'll link it so you can see that. But bone broth is one of those things that's really easy to make. It's relatively inexpensive and it's a great recipe or a great ingredient to use in your recipes. And if you've never used it before, I highly, highly recommend it. Question number 2 is easiest cleanup meal. And this is by far something on the grill. So you can do chicken, you can do pork chops, you can do sausages, whatever you want, any kind of meat, any kind of vegetable, and then sometimes I will even do potatoes. And so you can marinate your meat in any seasonings, you can use any sort of barbecue sauce. All of that is very simple. Just throw the meat on the grill. And then as far as vegetables, you can do, a lot of times we do zucchini and eggplant. In the summertime, we just pull them out of the garden or get them from the farmer's market or the grocery store. You can put asparagus on the grill, you can put mushrooms on the grill, you can put peppers, okra, all sorts of things. I think I've even put broccoli on the grill just because it's just easy to throw everything on the grill. As far as the potatoes, I just scrub them really well. I microwave them for however long it takes on my potato setting. I have a button that I press, and then slice them open, put some olive oil, salt and pepper, and then grill those on the cut side and the back side. And then everything's on the grill, so there's no pots and pans to clean up. And then if I'm feeling extra lazy, I will even serve from the grill onto our dinner plates. So there's not even any serving plates, there's just the plates we're eating off of and our silverware that we would have to wash, and those are really easy to hand wash or throw in the dishwasher. Question number 3 is favorite Pinterest dish, and I have another highly unpopular opinion. I don't really like Pinterest, especially for food. I feel like Pinterest has a lot of broken links and a lot of like wild goose chases, and what looks good on a really beautiful photo on somebody's blog does not really mean that the recipe is tested and tried and true. So for my recipes, I really like to go to allrecipes.com. They have a really great reviewing and commenting system, so you can get like the best version of whatever recipe that you want to make. But as far as Pinterest recipes, I do follow a website called godairyfree.org, and I always see their pins on Pinterest, but I never remember to go to their site. But they're always pinning really great recipes on their site and on other people's sites. They're also pinning new dairy-free products when they become available. So I've seen a lot of things on Pinterest through that website that I probably wouldn't have sought out or hadn't even thought of. And so most notably is probably the chocolate avocado mousse, and I took that recipe, I kind of tweaked it, made it my own, and I did post that here on YouTube, so I will link that too. It's really easy and really delicious, and you don't have to be dairy-free to enjoy it. It just happens to be dairy-free. but it's a really great way to enjoy a rich, creamy chocolate mousse or sort of pudding. I used it for a frosting for my little one's first birthday cake because there's no refined sugars in it. It's really low sugar, and it's full of the good fats from the avocado. So I will link that down below if you want to see that. Question number 4 is healthiest dinner recipe. And this is another one that was really hard because I feel like everything that I make is healthy. Not everything, but most things I make are healthy. And if it's not healthy, I do my best to make it healthy. There are a few things that I just completely disregard and totally splurge and deep fry something or something like that. But a lot of what I make is healthy, or my opinion of healthy. That's another thing is what's healthy is very, very subjective based on your perspective. But as far as I'm concerned, what makes a healthy diet or a healthy recipe, something that's very heavy on vegetables, using whole foods that have been prepared from scratch, and following more of like a traditional food lifestyle, I guess. So with those considerations in mind, I would say my healthiest dinner recipe that I make is my vegetable beef barley soup. I really like it because you can make it chock full of all sorts of vegetables. You can use pretty much anything that you want. I usually put anywhere from 6 to 10 different kinds of vegetables in my soup. And it also has barley in it, so it's a really hearty whole grain. And as far as the meat, I usually use like a chuck roast. Sometimes I'll make little mini meatballs, which are really fun. And then I also use bone broth, which I mentioned earlier, but it's incredibly good for you. Bone broth has so many good things for you that it's a really great healthy recipe. It's also probably my favorite thing to cook and one of my favorite things to eat. So the next question is favorite soup that you make, and one of the reasons why I picked that soup for my favorite healthy dinner is because I couldn't decide between my 2 favorite soups for this question. So aside from vegetable beef barley soup, probably my next favorite soup would be a smoked turkey or chicken soup. Using the carcass from a smoked chicken makes the best soup. And as far as veggies, I just use like carrots, onions, celery, a little bit of parsley, and you can use noodles or barley, but I really like to make pot pie noodles, and I made a video of that. I will link that as well. There's just like a really thick, hearty, homemade egg noodle, which I really like. Number 6 is the most unique dish that I make. This is another one that's purely based on perspective. So I like to make a lot of like worldly cuisines. Like I like to make Korean food, Persian food, Latin American food. So they're very different than what I grew up eating, but they're not all that different to somebody who's Korean or Persian or from Latin America. And I also make a lot of sort of like regionally unique dishes. My family is from a different place than where I live now, so some things that I eat are very different to the people who live here. But probably I would say my most unique dish, one that I have recently made, and I've made it a couple times because we really liked it, was a Korean squid dish, and I will put a picture of what it looks like. It's a Mengchi recipe. I will link to her video below how to make it, but I've never cooked with squid before. I've only really eaten squid like as like fried calamari strips or something like that. So making it in this new way, it's a new ingredient for me to cook with. It's a little bit intimidating. That would probably be my most unique dish that I could think of. Question number 7 is favorite pasta dish. And I don't eat a ton of pasta, and usually when we do, it's pretty basic, just with red sauce over it. But my favorite pasta would have to be like stuffed shells or lasagna. And I don't eat dairy, so I usually make like a tofu filling, kind of a faux ricotta tofu filling for those. And I have a video how I make that. I will link that as well. But it's really delicious. My husband would probably also say lasagna is his favorite. He would prefer for it to be a dairy version, and he gets that occasionally. But he still also really likes the tofu version as well. Question number 8 is favorite kids meal. I have one daughter, and she's nearly 2 years old, and I can't really ask her what her favorite is, but she has never not eaten anything that I've ever put in front of her. Like, she eats everything, and she devours everything. She's like a little garbage disposal. So I don't know what her like favorite is. I know she really likes corn on the cob, and she really likes like sweet potatoes, and she really likes avocado. But I mean, anything I put in front of her, she eats with no problem at all. So I'm really, really lucky in that way. But I don't know what really I would say is her favorite. Everything. Food is her favorite. Question number 9 is your favorite dish to bring to a party or a potluck. And I have dietary restrictions, so it's kind of hard for me to eat at parties sometimes. And I'm very aware of that. So when I bring something to share, I usually bring something that's vegan, gluten-free, free of as many allergens as possible, just because A, it might be the only thing that I can eat, and B, because I know there's probably other people who have dietary restrictions as well. So a lot of times I'll bring hummus or baba ganoush with like veggie sticks. Sometimes I make falafel patties with like a tahini dipping sauce. Those are always really popular. Another recipe that I like to make is the pea salad, and I did that recipe on my channel as well. And what I like about the pea salad is it kind of covers all of my favorite criteria. It's cheap and easy to make. It's vegan, gluten-free, free of most allergens, if not all allergens. And it's one of those recipes that it's a bunch of ingredients that people can easily recognize and or most people like, but it's something different. So it's not like another potato salad or another macaroni salad. And if you want to see that recipe, I will link it down below. It's really simple to make, and most people really like it, and most people have never had it before. So it's kind of a little bit different, but still familiar enough that people are willing to try it. And the question number 10 is, who do I tag? So I want to specifically tag a few people. If you are not tagged but you want to do it, please do it. I would love to hear your answers. I've been having a lot of fun watching other people's contributions. But the people that I tag are Tess from Tess Cooks For You, Allison from Allison in Mommyland. I want to tag Amanda from Eat, Pray, Crunch. She follows sort of a traditional food diet, which I was talking about earlier, is kind of where I'm trying to nudge my eating habits towards. So I'm really interested in hearing her responses to this tag. And lastly, I would like to tag Linda from Linda's Pantry. And again, if you want to do it, feel free. So that is the dinner tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give my video a thumbs up and subscribe if you love to cook and eat as much as I do. All right, thanks guys, bye.